Today will technically be a strength workout day, even though I am only doing one exercise that will be focused on strength, which will be shoulder press. That's the one, because I suck at it. So I'm trying to do some different things. So the rest of it will be hypertrophy work. I've also recently been thinking about whether or not happiness is a moral obligation, something, a talk that, or speech that I listened to Dennis Prager, I think is who it was, talk about, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I agree with them or not, but I'll talk about that if that's something that you're interested in. If not, just enjoy the workout. Appreciate you. So I've plateaued pretty hard on two exercises, the bench press and the shoulder press. I guess I suck at pressing things. Not buttons. I can press buttons on my phone pretty well, but just pressing weight, I guess. But I'm going to try two different things. With the bench press plateau, I'm going to utilize more pause reps and still lift a little bit heavier, RPE 8-ish, and sticky point reps. So I can't, the bench press, I can't get past like 6 inches when I'm trying to 1 rep max. So I've been doing sticky point where you come down and stop where you keep getting stuck and just go as low as that. And with the shoulder press, I'm going to just increase the volume of the amount that I shoulder press. So I'm only going to be doing RPE like 5 or 6 on shoulder press stuff, and just do it more often, probably like 3 times a week. And we're going to see which one does better, because I just would like to know for myself. I see people claiming that one works better than the other, so figured this would be a good experiment to figure it out. It's interesting to me how in fitness there's so many strong people out there that have seemed to use different results that sometimes seem drastically different to get pretty similar end results, which is they all can lift heavy fucking weight that I can't lift yet. I think that just speaks to the most important thing is that you just got to be consistent with it. You just got to do something for a long period of time and just try and get a little bit better at it every time you do it. You'll probably just get strong. I'm sure there's some ways that could get you there faster, but I don't know, just having fun with it. I don't want to spend the money on a personal trainer. I'm not trying to compete in anything. I don't really care if it takes me years to get super strong. I don't even know if that's my goal now that I'm saying that out loud. I just like to work out. It's just fun to work towards things. But it seems like there's a lot of clickbait videos and content out there that'll tell you that, you know, a tried and true proven method that people have been doing for decades, it doesn't work. You got to do this instead. And it's just funny. It can get so complicated, whether it's nutrition or lifting weights or anything. And, you know, it's just simple. Just keep it simple. If you're trying to be healthy, then eat foods that don't have more than 2 ingredients on the ingredients list. Ideally, only 1 ingredient. If you want to get stronger, just lift weights for a long time. Every day or every other day, a few times a week. And you'll get there. I've never not worked out using a program, so it's kind of weird to just kind of show up and just do what I feel like I need to do. So at this point in the workout, I've done overhead press, and other than more shoulder work, I'm not really sure what else I'm doing yet. So I'll figure it out. Well, it's been a while since I've done arm work, so I'll just do biceps, triceps. I'll do some calf work and some core work, and we'll call it that for the day. I feel like the other muscle groups need a little bit of a rest. Maybe I'll do some dips. I haven't done dips in a while too. I'll just do some chin-ups, focusing on the biceps, some curls, some push-downs, some tricep extensions, all that good stuff that you will see, because obviously I'm entertaining and knowledgeable enough that you will continue watching if you have been watching up to this point. There's no chance you're going to click away, even though, you know, YouTube data will say that most likely you are going to click away before the end of this video if you haven't already clicked away anyway, which means that I'm not even talking to you and I'm just talking to myself to a camera, pretending I'm talking to you. Ooh. Makes a big difference when you're doing those chin-ups and you're going slow and you're squeezing when you're at the top like that. I only did 11 there, and if I were moving fast, I could definitely do more, but then I feel like I'm not isolating the biceps as much. So it's nice to slow it down, almost like treat it like you're doing a pull down, a seated pull down with reverse grip, because it's the same thing. The only strength focused muscle group I'll be working on today is shoulders. The rest is going to be hypertrophy work. Why not try and get strength and size at the same time? You know, the muscles I don't really care about getting stronger in, let's just get bigger. That way I can impress my wife and my girlfriends and hopefully get more of both. I've been doing way more strength focused exercising lately, so it's kind of nice to get back to hypertrophy stuff, which is what I've done most of my fitness life, as you can tell with my, pretty sure these are 22-inch biceps, bigger than, you know, Arnold and all those guys, I think. I don't even know. He probably did have 22-inch biceps. But it's nice to not have to rest so long in between exercises with strength. You know, you want to take probably a good 3 to 5 minutes rest, make sure you recover. But hypertrophy, you can just kind of go. As you can tell, I'm out of breath already trying to talk to you, my hopefully still watching best friend. Because let's face it, if you've watched this one, it's a guarantee that you've watched my other videos, which just makes us best friends. I've told lots of personal stories. I've confessed my love for you in a platonic, hey, you're my buddy kind of way. So, hey, best friend, thanks for hanging out. Four. I swear this camera looks crooked, but I can't tell. The leveler on the stand is telling me that it's not crooked, but my eyes are telling me a different thing, so I don't know what to trust, so I'll just leave it as it is. And if it's crooked, please feel free to let me know. Maybe my left foot got longer than my right, or my right. Okay, I can speak good. Maybe my left leg grew overnight, or my right leg shrank, and everything, it just looks crooked to me right now. Let me know. Alright, we're gonna swing just to get more failure here. Okay, there we go. Not too long ago, I was listening to Alex Hormozi talk about what he thinks the most important skill you can learn is. If you're not familiar with him, and chances are if you're similar to my age and on social media, you are familiar with him, but he's a really successful entrepreneur, at least he says he is. I tend to believe him. Also jacked, but he says that the most important skill you can learn is how to be in a good mood all the time, which I don't know if that's the most important skill you can learn, but that definitely does sound like it would be super ideal to learn. That is not something I'm very good at. I don't even have that many videos on here, but the amount of times that I've gone to work out and to start up a video and felt like, man, I'm just way too tired to do it. But it's nice to keep that in the back of the mind and hopefully get to a point where these videos almost spark energy, because energy is something that I struggle with on a regular basis. Something else I've heard Dennis Prager, pretty sure that's his name, talk about is how he thinks that being happy all the time is a moral obligation. And I think those two things kind of tie hand in hand. Again, I don't know if I agree with Prager on that one, but it's a really interesting and unique concept to think that you owe it to the people that you care about to be happy all the time. So that's something that I've tried to work on in spurts as well, but it's tough. It's tough. I don't always enjoy my job. The low energy thing tends to turn me into a zombie mode, essentially, where it just feels like I'm going through the motions. I'm not depressed or anything like that. I just feel tired. There's a lot of things that excite me about life, and I love my family, but I just get tired. So, man, if you have gotten really good at being in a good mood all the time, some people do it naturally. Good chance you know somebody like that. I think I know one or two people like that. Or if you know someone that's happy all the time, they're just good people to be around. They uplift everyone around them. So I think it's a really worthy goal to work towards one, if not both of those things. The theory of being happy all the time as a moral obligation is such an interesting one to me, just because I've heard a lot of people kind of talk down happiness and how it's not a worthy goal and that you should seek things that have deeper meaning. But personally, it feels good to be happy. Who doesn't like being around happy people? Like, only depressed and angry people don't like being around happy people because it just makes them feel worse about themselves. So I think it's weird that people make the argument that that's not a worthy goal. And then the claim that it's a moral obligation is not something I necessarily agree with, because when you think of moral things, it's normally things that have a strong effect on another person. And, he does make the argument when he's talking about it that obviously you do negatively affect or positively affect people around you, especially the people you spend a lot of time around, if you are happy or unhappy. But in the same sense, to me, if you're in a bad mood and faking happiness, maybe you can make a little bit of an argument, morally speaking, that you're lying to people. You might be lying to your partner, your spouse, or sibling, or parent, or whatever, if you're faking something rather than being maybe not more authentic, but just more real in the moment. And I think you can still be authentic while not actually feeling what you're projecting. Because if your goal is to try and be a happy person, even though you're not feeling happy in the moment, then you're still being true and authentic to yourself. If you're trying to become something that maybe you're not yet. There's a quote from a book that I really like a lot from a series called The Way of Kings, and a character in the book says something along the lines of, a hypocrite is just a man in the process of changing. And I think that ties in really well to what I'm saying, is that, maybe you can be a little bit of a hypocrite, if that's what you want to call it, if you're not feeling like you're in a good mood, but trying to be in a good one for other people. And then hopefully the goal is to, like fitness, if you just show up and try every day, then maybe you actually can do it genuinely every day, and it doesn't even require any effort. I've heard people talk about other things that they've done where it used to require a lot of effort. I remember listening to Rob Dyrdek talk about how he wanted to just feel more motivated on a daily basis. And obviously he's a guy that's accomplished a lot in his life. If you don't know who he is, just look him up. But he said that it was his focus every day. It was just to wake up motivated. And if he was putting it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's been a long time since I've heard him talk about it, but he was saying something along the lines of, it used to be that he'd wake up like a 2 or a 3, and then it steadily, the more he worked on it, was just 4 to 5, and then just progressing up till eventually it was just like, now every day I wake up and I'm just ready to go. I'm so motivated to do stuff every day. It's a 10 every day when he wakes up. I think that's really cool. I haven't gotten that level of mastery with anything in my life, so being a skeptic, I don't know if that's actually possible. I'm not calling him a liar or anything like that, but it is hard to imagine that, what if he just wakes up sick, and you just feel worse? Is he really still feeling a 10 in motivation? I don't know, but I think that's, regardless of if that's true or not, it's a worthy goal to work towards. So it's hard to keep track of all the things that you want to work towards emotionally or mentally, but just taking those baby steps with whatever it may be that day and just trying to get better. Oh shit. Now I'm gonna feel my triceps tomorrow, that's for sure. Well, I ran out of time to do calf work. I'm just gonna do some off-camera core work once I'm done with this. I spent too much time talking to you. But since I have no idea what I'm doing with these videos, other than just trying to work out and hopefully be somewhat entertaining to you or improve your life in some way, it's nice to just kind of use this as as a video journal or video diary, and just kind of talk things out, just kind of work thoughts out that I have floating around in my mind, and hopefully it's something that can provide some benefit to your life. But if you've managed to stick around this long, I appreciate it. I'm very grateful to you and look forward to doing more of these, and hopefully you look forward to watching more of these. But that'll be all for today. See ya. And hopefully I can learn how to talk more clearly and coherently, and the things that are in my brain just kind of come out my mouth. So that was a fake see ya. Here's the real see ya. See ya.